Hey everyone, welcome back to SwitchTop. Today, we're diving into some hidden gems that deserve way more attention. These are the games that flew under the radar but absolutely shouldn't have. If you're looking for something new to play that isn't on everyone's playlist, you're in the right place. Let's jump into the top 30 most underrated games on Nintendo Switch. Absolum stands out as a surprisingly polished action roguelite that blends tight combat with a rich fantasy world. It drops you into Taliv, a land torn apart by magic and authoritarian rule, and lets you step into the role of one of 4 rebels, each offering a distinct fighting style that shifts how every encounter unfolds. The game's hand-drawn animation gives each strike, dodge, and combo a satisfying weight, and the interplay between melee, ranged abilities, and special skills keeps combat energetic without feeling chaotic. What makes it especially engaging is how each run reshapes your journey through branching routes, random events, and unlockable upgrades that meaningfully change your approach. Co-op, both solo-friendly and team-focused, adds another layer of strategy as players combine abilities to push deeper into enemy territory. Despite its strong art direction, fluid combat system, and atmospheric soundtrack, the game remains underappreciated, often overshadowed by bigger releases. Yet for players who enjoy a mix of replayability, character-driven abilities, and a grounded fantasy world that avoids gimmicks, Absolum delivers a satisfying loop that's easy to sink into and hard to put down, making it one of the Switch's most underrated gems. PowerWash Simulator 2 earns its place as a uniquely satisfying experience that expands on the simple joy of cleaning without losing the calming rhythm that made the original stand out. It builds its appeal around a tighter loop, bigger, more complex environments that evolve as you clear sections, new tools that change how you approach grime, and multi-stage jobs that feel almost puzzle-like as new areas unlock mid-task. There's a surprising sense of progression as upgraded washers, improved soaps, and specialized gear let you tackle tougher surfaces with a smooth, almost meditative flow. Co-op also enhances the experience, letting players share progress while teaming up on massive structures, turning what could be a solitary activity into a relaxed, cooperative routine. Between missions, the option to decorate your home base adds a cozy layer of personalization that fits naturally into the game's slow, satisfying pace. Despite its depth and its ability to settle players into a comfortable concentration zone, the game still flies under the radar, overshadowed by flashier action titles. Trails in the Sky First Chapter stands out as a beautifully reimagined classic that remains overlooked despite its depth and charm. The game follows Estelle and Joshua as they begin their journey across Liberl, starting with small bracer jobs that gradually lead into a layered narrative full of political tension and personal growth. What makes it shine on Switch is the way the remake blends timeless turn-based strategy with smoother, real-time exploration, creating a rhythm that feels both nostalgic and modern. Battles reward planning through the arts and crafts systems, letting players shape their party's abilities with meaningful customization that grows richer as the story progresses. The world is filled with optional quests, warm character interactions, and environmental storytelling that makes each region feel lived in and connected. Enhanced visuals, expanded side content, and full voice work help elevate emotional moments without losing the heart of the original. Despite offering one of the most cohesive and character-driven adventures on the system, it often slips under the radar, overshadowed by larger franchises.
Sit. Let's go.
Ball X Pit delivers a clever blend of arcade action and roguelite progression that makes it far more engaging than its simple premise suggests. At its core, it reimagines the classic Brick Breaker formula by giving you a growing arsenal of magical balls, each with distinct effects, and encouraging you to fuse them into powerful combinations that can clear enemies, trigger chain reactions, or reshape the battlefield in unexpected ways. Every descent into the pit becomes a test of experimentation and adaptability, as new balls, modifiers, and enemy patterns push you to rethink your strategy on the fly. Outside of the action, the game adds surprising depth through a base-building system that has you reconstructing new Balbalon piece by piece, unlocking structures that grant long-term bonuses, new characters, and unique upgrades that change your future runs. This loop of diving into chaotic battles, returning with resources, and steadily expanding your base creates a strong sense of progression that keeps the experience fresh. Despite its originality and its satisfying balance between quick reflexes and long-term planning, it remains overlooked on the system, overshadowed by bigger indie and roguelite releases. Astral Ascent stands out as a polished and exhilarating 2D roguelite that blends fast-paced action with deep character customization. Players step into the roles of 4 distinct heroes, each with unique weapons and magical abilities, and dive into the garden, a beautifully crafted astral prison guarded by 12 formidable zodiac bosses. The game excels in its combat design. Every spell and weapon can be enhanced with gambits and auras, allowing for creative synergies that make each run feel fresh and strategic. Beyond the battles, the game rewards exploration and mastery, as the lore of the Zodiacs and the backstories of the characters gradually unfold, giving context to the frenetic action. Its pixel art visuals are fluid and detailed, perfectly complemented by a soundtrack that balances intensity and calm to match the gameplay flow. Local co-op adds a fun layer for friends to tackle the garden together, while the smooth progression system ensures each run feels meaningful. One of the most charming and underrated games on Nintendo Switch is This Seat Taken?, a relaxing puzzle experience that combines clever logic with gentle storytelling. You follow Nat, a quirky, rhombus-shaped aspiring actor, as they travel from city to city, encountering a variety of seating arrangement challenges in settings like crowded buses, cinemas, and wedding receptions. Each character has distinct preferences, such as needing a window seat or avoiding someone with a particular habit, and it's up to you to arrange them in ways that maximize satisfaction. The game never pressures you with timers or harsh penalties, allowing you to take your time and experiment with different solutions while enjoying the process. Its minimal yet warm visuals complement a soft, inviting soundtrack, making every puzzle session feel cozy and thoughtful. Beyond its gameplay, the narrative gently explores themes of belonging and connection, giving players an emotional thread to follow as they progress. Despite praise for its originality, satisfying mechanics, and character-driven charm, it remains largely overlooked on Switch. Iconoclasts shines as a meticulously crafted action platformer that combines Metroidvania exploration with a deeply personal narrative. Players step into the role of Robin, a young mechanic living under a theocratic regime that condemns her work, and must navigate a world powered by a mysterious resource called Ivory while uncovering the society's secrets. The game balances tight platforming with combat that feels both precise and satisfying, and environmental puzzles are cleverly integrated into the level design, offering challenges that reward both skill and observation. As you progress, collecting materials to craft tweaks enhances abilities subtly but meaningfully, giving each run a sense of growth. Boss fights are strategic and memorable, demanding timing and adaptability, while multiple difficulty settings ensure accessibility without compromising challenge. The pixel art visuals are vibrant and highly detailed, complemented by a soundtrack that adapts to both quiet exploration and intense combat sequences. The story explores themes of faith, control, and personal freedom, giving the world weight and emotional resonance. UFO 50 stands out as an audacious and endlessly entertaining retro compilation that captures the magic of discovering lost games from a bygone era. Developed by Mossmouth, the team behind Spelunky, it features 50 full, complete games, not mini-games, spanning genres from platformers and shoot-'em-ups to roguelites, RPGs, and puzzles. Each title comes with its own mechanics, style, and challenges, offering an astonishing variety that keeps every play session fresh. The collection is framed as the lost output of a fictional 1980s studio, UFO Soft, giving the experience a charming, alternate history aesthetic that makes exploring each game feel like uncovering a secret piece of gaming lore. Players can jump into any game immediately, with no unlocking required, and the inclusion of both single-player and local multiplayer modes adds versatility. Recent patches improved pixel-perfect scaling and other quality-of-life details, enhancing the retro visuals for modern hardware. While a few minor performance quirks exist, especially on newer consoles, they do little to detract from the creative ambition on display. Tiny Bookshop stands out as a cozy and captivating management simulation that perfectly balances charm, strategy, and storytelling. Players take on the role of a traveling bookseller in the picturesque town of Buxtonbury by the Sea, curating a selection of secondhand books, arranging shelves, and designing the shop's layout to attract and delight a colorful cast of townsfolk. Each customer has unique preferences, encouraging thoughtful book placement and interaction, while the shop itself becomes a reflection of your decisions and personality. The game's visual style is warm and inviting, complemented by a gentle, soothing soundtrack that enhances the relaxing pace of daily shop life. Beyond its management mechanics, Tiny Bookshop weaves a narrative thread through its characters and locales, revealing small stories and secrets about the community that add depth and emotional resonance. While some may find the decorating and daily tasks slightly repetitive, the steady sense of progression, discovery, and connection keeps players engaged. Enter Magnolia, Bloom in the Mist stands out as a masterfully crafted Metroidvania that combines haunting beauty with deeply satisfying combat. Players step into the role of Lilac, a hero who can purify corrupted homunculi, transforming foes into allies and customizing their abilities to suit different combat styles. The game offers around 30 unique skills tied to these companions, creating endless possibilities for experimentation and strategic planning in fast-paced battles. Exploration is rewarding, thanks to clear map feedback, fast travel options, and thoughtful level design that makes backtracking feel purposeful rather than tedious. Visually, it's striking, blending hand-drawn 2D art with a dark but elegant aesthetic, while the soundtrack evokes the melancholy and mystery of the Land of Fumes, enhancing every moment of the journey. Performance on Switch is smooth at 60 frames per second, whether docked or in handheld mode, and the game includes additional modes like New Game Plus and Boss Rush that extend replayability. Its narrative and world building are rich, immersing players in a story of corruption, redemption, and emotional depth. Loddlenaut stands out as a soothing and charming exploration game that blends environmental care with gentle creature management. Players assume the role of an interstellar custodian on the vibrant planet GUP-14, tasked with cleaning polluted waters using a bubble gun to remove debris, scrub goop off underwater plants, and recycle trash. As you restore ecosystems, you also encounter adorable axolotl-like creatures called Loddles, which you can feed, nurture, and watch evolve based on their diet, creating a surprising emotional connection with these companions. The gameplay loop balances exploration and progression, collecting trash, upgrading equipment such as oxygen tanks or cleaning tools, and unlocking new biomes keeps the experience engaging without ever feeling stressful. Visually, the game is peaceful and colorful, with soft, low-poly art and gentle animations, while the soundtrack enhances the calm, meditative pace of underwater life. Although the game isn't about high-stakes challenges, and some areas can cause minor frame rate dips, it excels at creating a relaxed, rewarding experience that encourages curiosity and care. Eight-Bit Adventures 2 shines as a lovingly crafted JRPG that successfully blends retro charm with modern design sensibilities. Players take to the skies in an airship, exploring a sprawling world map, visiting towns, completing side quests, and confronting challenging super bosses that demand strategy and preparation. The combat system stands out with its flexibility. Characters can be swapped mid-battle, team attacks allow for devastating combinations, and Omega Burst finishers provide satisfying cinematic flair. Unlike many classic JRPGs, enemies are visible on the map, giving exploration real weight and letting players plan encounters rather than endure random battles. The narrative mixes fantasy and sci-fi, centering on the mysterious Glitch, a powerful child whose actions threaten the world, while 7 playable characters, from a blind martial artist to a robot exterminator, each bring unique abilities and personalities. Quality of life features like Save Anywhere, strategic pacing, and carefully designed progression keep the experience approachable and engaging. A free post-launch DLC further expands the game with additional dungeons, bosses, and music, enhancing replayability. Iron Meat stands out as a brutally satisfying run-and-gun shooter that blends retro arcade action with modern polish. Players take on the role of the Deem, battling through 9 relentless levels consumed by the Meat, a grotesque, interdimensional biomass spawned from twisted lunar experiments. The combat is fast, precise, and unforgiving, with multi-phase boss fights that scale across 3 difficulty settings, offering both challenge and replayability. Local co-op adds a cooperative layer, allowing 2 players to coordinate attacks and strategize through hordes of monstrous enemies, making each session intense and rewarding. Beyond combat, the game features over 30 unlockable skins, ranging from robots and sharks to demon-winged cowboys, letting players customize their appearance and adding playful variety to its grim, pixel art aesthetic. Visually, the game combines nostalgia with a dark, unsettling tone, while the soundtrack drives adrenaline-fueled pacing that complements the high-stakes action. Despite its careful design, responsive controls, and imaginative level layouts, Iron Meat remains largely overlooked, overshadowed by flashier releases. Nobody Saves the World shines as a brilliantly creative action RPG that puts experimentation at the forefront. Players start as a blank nobody and gradually unlock over 15 unique forms, from slugs to dragons to robots, each with distinct abilities and playstyles. The real ingenuity lies in how you can mix and match abilities across forms, allowing for limitless combinations and inventive strategies tailored to every dungeon and enemy encounter. Procedurally generated dungeons evolve as you grow stronger, keeping exploration and combat engaging, while optional quests encourage mastery of each form. The game also supports both local and online co-op, adding a layer of cooperative strategy that makes teamwork both fun and rewarding. Its cartoonish, slightly surreal art style is expressive and charming, complemented by Jim Guthrie's whimsical, adventurous soundtrack, and it runs smoothly on Switch with minimal performance issues. While some players find progression grind-heavy when leveling each form, the depth of customization, variety in combat, and humor-infused world more than compensate. Astlibra Revision stands out as a labor of love that combines side-scrolling action with deep RPG mechanics in a way few games attempt. Players follow a nameless hero and his companion, a talking bird named Karin, across sprawling, dangerous worlds filled with challenging enemies and secrets to uncover. Combat requires skillful timing and strategy, blending swordplay, spellcasting, and a unique possession mechanic that lets you harness powerful abilities in inventive ways. The character progression system is rich, allowing players to upgrade gear, select skills, and manage Libra statistics to tailor their playstyle. Visually, the game has a handcrafted, slightly rough aesthetic, reminiscent of classic Flash-era games, which only adds to its passionate, handcrafted charm, while the soundtrack evokes nostalgia for classic JRPGs with emotional and varied compositions. Its narrative is bold and ambitious, weaving time travel, dimension hopping, and unexpected twists into a story that rewards careful exploration. While pacing can feel uneven and some sections grind heavy, multiple difficulty levels and post-game content add replay value. Bow, Path of the Teal Lotus, stands out as a stunning 2.5D action platformer that blends Metroidvania exploration with Japanese folklore. Players take control of Bow, a celestial lotus fox spirit, as they traverse interconnected worlds filled with haunted castles, ethereal cities, and mysterious yokai. Movement is fluid and satisfying, allowing players to bounce, glide, and dash through levels with precision, while a clever move and reset system encourages creative chaining of platforming maneuvers. Combat and exploration are intertwined through mystical teas that unlock powerful staff transformations, such as a grappling gun, Lotus dash, or Mochi mallet, drastically altering gameplay and adding depth. Players can also recruit Daruma doll allies, each with unique abilities to assist in battle and puzzle solving. Visually, the game is breathtaking, with hand-drawn, frame-by-frame animation that brings each environment to life, complemented by a soundtrack that fuses traditional Japanese instrumentation with sweeping orchestral passages, enhancing the mystical atmosphere. Shogun Showdown stands out as a cleverly designed turn-based roguelike that combines tactical positioning, deck building, and strategic planning into a highly satisfying package. Players control a samurai-inspired character, navigating tile-based combat where every move matters, and chaining combos through careful positioning is essential. Unlike traditional roguelikes, progression is persistent. Death doesn't erase all progress, and players gradually unlock new characters, skills, and upgrades, keeping each run engaging and fresh. Combat strategy revolves around upgrading attack tiles and integrating them into evolving decks, allowing for a wide range of approaches and creative problem-solving. The pixel art style is minimal yet atmospheric, evoking a stylized vision of feudal Japan, while the pacing makes it perfect for both short bursts and extended play sessions on the Switch. Tunic stands out as a deceptively deep and charming action-adventure that rewards curiosity and careful observation. Players control a small fox exploring a mysterious world filled with ancient ruins, hidden paths, and cryptic lore, evoking classic Zelda-inspired exploration while adding its own unique twists. Central to the experience is the in-game manual, collected piece by piece, which encourages players to decipher puzzles, uncover secrets, and engage with the game world in a tactile, almost nostalgic way. Combat is subtle yet challenging, relying on stamina-limited dodges, precise timing, and strategic attacks, especially during intense boss encounters that demand both patience and skill. Exploration is rich and rewarding, with secret areas, hidden items, and environmental storytelling that create a sense of discovery and achievement. Visually, the minimalist yet charming isometric style brings the world to life, and while the Switch port runs at 30 frames per second, performance rarely detracts from the tension or atmosphere. Grapple Dog's Cosmic Canines shines as a fast-paced, inventive 2D action platformer that combines precision platforming, swinging mechanics, and playful combat. Players switch between two charming protagonists, Pablo, a grappling hook expert, and Luna, a gun-wielding anti-hero, each offering unique ways to traverse vibrant, interdimensional levels filled with hazards, secrets, and clever environmental puzzles. The game's level design is a standout, featuring magnetic panels, fire dashing, and hidden collectibles that encourage exploration and replay, while time trial challenges add a layer of skill-based competition. Pixel art visuals are bright, varied, and full of character, ranging from neon-soaked cityscapes to mysterious alien landscapes, complemented by an energetic, jazzy soundtrack that perfectly matches the nimble, fast-paced gameplay. Though some performance hitches appear in action-heavy sections on Switch, they rarely detract from the overall experience. With tight controls, imaginative level design, and a whimsical sense of humor, Grapple Dog's Cosmic Canines rewards skill, curiosity, and experimentation, offering an underappreciated gem for fans of retro-inspired platformers who want a game that's both challenging and endlessly charming. SteamWorld Heist II stands out as a deeply engaging turn-based strategy adventure that combines precise, tactical combat with charming, steampunk pirate aesthetics. Players captain Quincy Leeway and a crew of customizable steambots on a journey across a handcrafted world filled with perilous missions, witty characters, and environmental hazards that keep every encounter fresh. Combat is skill-based and satisfying, emphasizing aim, ricochets, and strategic positioning, allowing each battle to feel like a carefully planned heist. The customization options are extensive, with over 150 items, a versatile class system, and a wealth of equipment choices. You can tailor your crew to fit your preferred style of play. Exploration is rewarding, and the world is richly detailed, bringing a mix of pirate ships, industrial landscapes, and hidden secrets to life. The soundtrack and sound design, with a whimsical steampunk flair, further immerse players in the universe, making each mission feel cinematic. Cat Quest III stands out as a charming and surprisingly deep action RPG that expands the series' signature whimsy into a swashbuckling pirate adventure. Players take on the role of a customizable cat captain, exploring the Persian archipelago, uncovering hidden islands, secret quests, and treasure-filled dungeons, while navigating a world full of humor, heart, and clever cat-themed puns. Combat is tighter and more fluid than in previous entries, allowing players to seamlessly swap between melee weapons and ranged gear, chain combos, and experiment with hundreds of equipment options to tailor their playstyle. Local co-op lets friends join the adventure, making treasure hunts and battles even more engaging. Visually, the hand-drawn 2.5D art style is delightful and expressive, and the pirate-inspired soundtrack complements the game's playful, adventurous tone. While it doesn't reinvent the RPG formula, Cat Quest III excels in accessible yet satisfying progression, engaging exploration, and the freedom to experiment with builds, striking a balance between lighthearted fun and meaningful gameplay. Shotgun Copman stands out as a hilariously over-the-top precision platformer that blends chaotic action with inventive mechanics. Players take control of Copman, whose guns double as wings, allowing him to shoot himself through levels, hover, and chain momentum while taking on waves of enemies. Traversal and combat are deeply intertwined, with each shot used for both attack and movement, creating a satisfying skill ceiling that rewards precision and creativity. The game features over 150 levels across 9 unique worlds, each filled with optional objectives like speedruns, no-damage challenges, and complete enemy clears, offering plenty of replayability. Its minimalist yet effective visual style keeps the focus squarely on the action, while a thumping, energetic soundtrack matches the frantic pace perfectly. Free DLC inspired by My Friend Pedro adds 51 new levels, bullet time mechanics, and new movement tools like ziplines and skateboards, further expanding the chaotic fun. While the narrative of Arresting Satan is absurd and self-aware, it adds humor and charm that complements the high-octane gameplay. Neva stands out as a beautifully crafted 2D puzzle platformer that combines gentle action with emotional storytelling. Players follow Alba and her wolf companion Neva as they traverse a world corrupted by shadowy forces, journeying through all 4 seasons, while forming a deep bond that shapes both exploration and combat. Platforming is smooth and satisfying, featuring double jumps, dashes, and graceful maneuvers, while Neva assists in traversal and puzzle solving, creating a strong sense of teamwork. The game's visuals are exquisite, with watercolor-inspired environments, flowing animation, and meticulous attention to detail that make each frame feel alive, complemented by a dynamic soundtrack that shifts to match moments of wonder, tension, and melancholy. Though relatively short, the narrative touches on themes of loss, hope, and protection with subtlety and emotional weight, leaving a lasting impression. Minor technical hiccups like occasional frame rate dips do little to diminish the experience. Momodora Moonlit Farewell stands out as a polished and heartfelt Metroidvania that serves as a fitting conclusion to the beloved series. Players control Momo Rhynal, a devoted high priestess on a divine quest, navigating demon-infested lands to uncover the source of chaos threatening her world. The game's pixel art is gorgeous, with lush, detailed environments, shimmering effects, and smooth animations that bring each area to life, complemented by a hauntingly atmospheric soundtrack. Combat is tight and rewarding, blending precise melee strikes with unlockable sigils and abilities that let players tailor their fighting style, while boss encounters challenge both skill and strategy. Exploration is thoughtfully designed, encouraging backtracking and discovery, and fast travel systems ease navigation once unlocked. With a runtime of roughly 7 to 8 hours, the experience is concise yet emotionally satisfying, balancing narrative depth with gameplay. On Switch, it runs smoothly, even in particle-heavy sections, ensuring a seamless experience. Crypt Custodian shines as a charming and inventive Metroidvania that combines tight action, thoughtful exploration, and a whimsical narrative. Players take on the role of Pluto, a mischievous cat tasked with cleaning up the afterlife, armed with a magical broom that doubles as both a weapon and a traversal tool. The game's interconnected world is rich with secrets, puzzles, and engaging NPC ghosts whose stories unfold as you explore, creating a sense of depth and discovery at every turn. Combat is precise yet approachable, featuring dodges, rolls, jumps, and special attacks, while an upgrade system allows you to customize Pluto's abilities to suit your preferred playstyle. Visually, Crypt Custodian is captivating, with charming animations, dynamic lighting, and environments that feel alive, complemented by a soundtrack that balances spooky and whimsical tones to enhance the atmosphere. While occasional spikes in difficulty and minor performance dips appear during intense moments, they do little to detract from the experience. Legacy 2 stands out as a roguelite platformer that expertly balances challenge, strategy, and replayability. Each run is unique thanks to the game's signature lineage system. When your character dies, you continue through a descendant who inherits random traits and a class, keeping gameplay fresh and unpredictable. Combat is tight and satisfying, blending precise platforming with RPG-style progression that allows players to unlock new abilities, perks, and equipment, opening up creative strategies and builds over time. The inclusion of house rules enables players to adjust difficulty to their liking, from more forgiving runs to brutally hard challenges, adding flexibility and longevity to the experience. Switch players benefit from smooth performance, intuitive controls, and a wealth of content, with interconnected castles, secret rooms, and procedurally generated encounters that reward exploration and experimentation. While some runs can feel grindy when pursuing optimal builds, the sense of progression and discovery makes it consistently engaging. Number Teslagrad Remastered shines as a masterfully crafted 2D puzzle platformer that blends hand-drawn art, magnetic physics, and atmospheric storytelling. Players take on the role of a young boy, exploring the enigmatic Tesla Tower, navigating intricate rooms filled with traps, puzzles, and environmental hazards using color-coded electromagnetic powers that attract, repel, or manipulate objects and enemies. The remastered version enhances the visuals with richer lighting, crisper animations, and refined details, bringing the world to life while maintaining the series' signature charm. Storytelling is subtle yet effective, conveyed entirely through environmental cues and visual design, creating a sense of mystery and discovery without relying on dialogue. 10 new challenge levels expand the gameplay, offering tougher puzzles that test both skill and creativity, while quality of life improvements streamline progression without compromising the core challenge. Although some aerial sequences and boss encounters can feel a bit tricky, the precise physics-based mechanics and clever level design make each success deeply satisfying. Retro Revengers stands out as a delightful, retro-inspired action platformer that blends tight gameplay with playful humor and nostalgic charm. Players control 5 friends, each with unique abilities, who are transported to a strange world by the retro goddess, and must master their powers to save both their world and the world of classic gaming. The ability to switch between characters on the fly adds strategic depth, allowing for varied approaches to levels, combat encounters, and puzzles. Levels themselves are diverse, featuring multiple biomes, enemy types, and environmental hazards that keep each stage fresh and engaging. Visually, the game embraces 16-bit pixel art aesthetics, complete with vibrant colors, fluid animations, and a soundtrack composed by Manami Matsumaya, which perfectly complements the old-school feel while keeping the energy high. Humor is woven throughout, playfully referencing gaming tropes, speedruns, and New Game Plus mechanics, giving the game personality without detracting from the challenge. Sanabi stands out as a sleek, cyberpunk action platformer that combines high-octane movement with an emotionally charged narrative. Players take control of a legendary retired veteran equipped with a chainhook prosthetic arm, allowing for fluid grappling, swinging, and dashing through sprawling, neon-drenched cityscapes ruled by a corrupt conglomerate. The gameplay is fast and satisfying, emphasizing agility, precision, and momentum as you navigate intricate levels filled with enemies, hazards, and vertical challenges. Beyond its mechanics, Sanabi delivers surprisingly poignant storytelling, exploring themes of loss, vengeance, and the consequences of corporate control, with moments that resonate on an emotional level. Visually, the game excels with detailed pixel art, dynamic lighting, and smooth animations that perfectly capture the cyberpunk aesthetic, while the energetic, atmospheric soundtrack enhances every action sequence and dramatic moment. Though some sections rely heavily on cutscenes, and combat can become repetitive during extended runs, the combination of inventive traversal, tight controls, and compelling narrative makes Sanabi a hidden gem on Switch. Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown stands out as a polished 2D Metroidvania that blends fluid platforming, precise combat, and rewarding exploration. Players take control of Sargon, a disgraced immortal, as he navigates the vast Mount Koth, employing acrobatics like wall jumping, grappling, and air dashing to tackle intricate platforming challenges. Combat is weighty and satisfying, with parries, dodges, and the powerful Athra Surge system offering strategic depth for skilled players. The level design encourages exploration and clever backtracking, with hidden secrets, optional challenges, and interconnected paths that make each area feel alive and worth revisiting. Visually, the game impresses with smooth animations, rich mythological Middle Eastern-inspired environments, and stylish effects that pop in both handheld and docked modes on Switch. The narrative adds subtle depth without overshadowing gameplay, while accessibility options and adjustable difficulty make it approachable for newcomers and veterans alike.
Speaking of, dozens of threatening undead and mystical creatures roam Mount Koth and its surroundings. Armed with his swords, Sargon can slash through his enemies and perform impressive juggling combos.
Menelaus' bow.
And that's our list of the top 30 most underrated games on Nintendo Switch. These games might not have huge marketing budgets or massive followings, but each one offers something special that's worth your time and money. Do you have your own underrated gems you think deserve more love? Drop them in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button and subscribe to SwitchTop for more Nintendo Switch content. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.